Noah. So if Noah was favorable, that means God looks upon us.
You are favored. What are you favored for? To survive the flood and not drown. What are you favored for? You're favored to be in it but not rocked by it. And don't sink to it. What are you favored for? It says he remembered Noah. God remembered. It makes it seem like God forgot. Just like God would create them but then regret it. It's like a retraction. But I know him to be omnipresent. And so when God forgets, his reminder to himself is, let me stop time and go back to that day and fix it and make it right. So when they come to it in their reality, they'll never miss a step. And that's what he said. He said, I'm making sure in this season, all your enemies, your haters, your naysayers know that you've never missed a step. It seemed like it was hard for you to do. The assignment that was on you, what God called you to. It's difficult for them, but you make it look easy. He said, I'm making it so that you never missed a step. He gives them directions on how to build it. You got to know what you're assigned to do in this season. God gives you direction. He's not just leaving you out here just to do whatever, however, whenever, if it fails, if it does, if this one decides to catch on fire, if the world decides to approve you for it. He says, no, I'm making sure you don't miss one. And so I know this because he walked with Noah, and he talks with me, and he tarries along on the way, but he gives them instructions, and there's so much grave detail to the animals. He tells them, of the clean ones, take 7. Of the unclean, just take 2. He said, I'm going to destroy everything else, but make sure you get the animals. Right? He doesn't spend half as much time capitalizing on the boat, nor Noah and who he can save in people. He said, make sure you get the animals. And today I got to talk to the animals. No, not the animals that you are, but the animals that's connected to you. You don't know what I'm talking about. Noah finds himself in a boat for 40 days and 40 nights. Not among civilized people, but amongst animals. You got to know that when God calls you to do something, it's going to be difficult for you to do. Not because you're apprehensive, but because who's connected to you. You got to know you're connected to people who will hear you, but won't be able to respond to you. Not because they didn't hear you or transcribe it right, but because they don't hear the same way that you speak. See, you're speaking in faith projection. You're speaking from a place where I've walked with God and I've talked with him. And so when you're speaking to people who can hear you but not understand you. That's why they look at you crazy the way that they do. That's why they go and they lying on you the way that they are. That's why they want to stick their necks up and then talk about you and believe that you can't hear it because it's over your head. But you got to know they're riding on your boat, so it must be under your feet. He says, this is what I want you to do. Protect the animals. Now watch how they come into the boat 2 by 2. But it never said he went and got them. They're coming. All you got to do is set the foundation. They're coming. He said, I'm going to make sure that the business is so successful that when they come in, it's going to be too many to count. You're going to 2 by 2. It's going to be way too many for you to keep up with. Just know that when the deposits hits, it's going to be 2 by 2. Just know that when the sales start coming in, it's going to be 2 by 2. Y'all don't read the Bible. Today it says it came in 2 by 2. And it never said where they all stayed. But they're in the boat. If it's allocated for this season or not, it's in the bank. Boat. It's you got to know when God purposed it, it's in the bank. I mean boat. You got to know when God called you to build it, he already gave you the finances. It's in the bank. I mean boat. You got to know when Noah is put in place and calls people to come see it, he already had the money to finance it so that he could stay afloat. How did I know this? It was in the bank. No, the boat. It was in the boat. It was in the boat. And so he was able to stay afloat with many people weighing on him. Yeah, they'll come and stand around. to see just how far you'll float.
Yeah.
No, we ain't floating in this season. We're not trying to get by check to check. We're not trying just to maintain for today or this week. But what God has set us on is a steady journey that we're able to build it and see the fulfillment of God's promise to it on us. That we're staying not afloat, but we're sailing. We're sailing through their doubt. We're sailing through their fears. We're sailing through places people said we will never step foot in. I'm sailing through it. You got to know God called you to sail. 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 And he sails, watch this now, to a continuous crowd. 40 days, 40 nights. Can I tell you, you about to sell out. You about to pack the house so big that everything that comes after this is going to look minute. This sets the standard for the generation behind you trying to hate on you, but really doubt that you can get higher. This is the golden standard. This is the revelation. This is the declaration that everything that comes after looks just like that. It's a packed house. There's some pastor somewhere praying to God that he sends the people. They're coming. That's to some auditorium owner believing that he'll have to sell it but cannot fulfill it. God is going to bring the people. You got to know that when you're dedicated to the purpose, then God will perform in the power to make sure that every moment it may get closer and closer. Every moment may get harder. A little turbulence may come. Every moment. You may feel some wind and some waves. Every moment. You may get hit by a whale or two. You may get knocked out. I'm talking about debt coming out, phone calls coming too. You're not knocked at the door. It may come. Yeah. But watch this. It said, God, remember. I got to tell you that on your hardest day, God didn't forget. He remembered. So for anybody who doubted, you got to know God remembered. And so the friends may forget because they didn't put it on their checklist. Is that the family may not turn up because we didn't come on their calendar. The news may not show up because we didn't come on their radar. But the Bible says God remembered Noah. And what did he do? Made the rain stop. Not just for Noah. For the wife, it's time. For the kids, it's time. For the animals, it's time. I don't know what you've been looking at these past 40 days. I don't know what's been weighing on your heart, what's been on your spirit. What pushes you, beholds you. Tugs at your heart, holds you in a stressless but faithless place. This is how I'm about to make it stop. It's been raining. This is how I remember I'll make it stop. Oh, it's been storming. God says, I remember. I didn't forget. It was heavy on your heart, but I got it in my hands. I didn't forget. It's deep on your mind, but the well is never a place that God's foot cannot dwell. He says, I didn't forget. I remembered and made it stop. He made the rain stop. But they had to sit there and take heed that the storm may have killed stronger people. The storm may have killed bigger people. The storm killed larger people who had greater assets than what we did. But we survived. You ought to look at yourself and thank God that you survived. So you ought to look at yourself and thank God that you survived. You ought to look at yourself. I survived. If everything the enemy said I wouldn't, I survived it. Everything that they said I couldn't, I survived it. Everything they said I couldn't own, I bought it. Everything that they said I wouldn't live in, we walk in. Everything that they said we could not do. Let me tell the enemy on tonight for you, I